Okay, welcome back to another video. We're not going to do any news per se in this video. Instead, we're doing a video that was inspired by our friend Financial Education Jeremy and talk about 4 stocks that I'm buying in May of 2023. Can you believe it's May already? But before we get into it, if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing. That way you don't miss any videos in the future. Trying to get to 1,000 subs by the end of the year, so if you feel so inclined, I would appreciate it. Now, I say stocks when I say my 4 favorite stocks that I'm buying this month loosely. They're not really stocks. Actually, all of them are funds. And I think Jeremy comes out with this video every month where he talks about 4 stocks that he's loading the boat on. And if you want the too long didn't read version, his 4 stocks are Palantir, Amazon, Tesla, and Cheesecake Factory, which was a surprise to me. And then you also get cool fonts like this that give me a headache after looking at these for about 5 seconds. Can you imagine making hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars, and this is what the production value is? So instead of 4 stocks, I want to talk about 4 funds that I particularly like to put my money in. I've been putting my money in these 4 funds for a long time now, and I don't see anything going to change. And let's just briefly go through them. The first one is a Fidelity Zero Large Cap Index Fund. This one and VOO, which we'll talk about later, are pretty similar. This fund was conceived in 2018, so it hasn't been around that long. But a lot of the companies, if we look at the top 10 holdings, are very similar to what you would see in the top 10 holdings of VOO or the S&P 500. And it says the top sector of this, no surprise, is information technology at 26.67%. And all of these companies appear to be in the US. Here's the past performance. The lifetime of this fund, like I said, only since 2018, but the annual average returns of the life were 9.88%. Of course, you can't look at that and say, well, the future is going to be that too, because we don't obviously know that. But I liked it based on the fact that this doesn't have an expense ratio on Fidelity, and I think it was the first index fund that I started putting my money into. Next one is a mutual fund. So this is actively managed, but it's the Fidelity Blue Chip Growth Fund. This one as well is mostly in information technology. However, the percentage you can see is a lot bigger than the last index fund that we looked at. And just like the last index fund, this is mostly exposed of companies in the US. The average returns annually are really impressive. Though in the last year or so, this has been taking a hit because it heavily invested in some of the tech plays that we've seen in the last year or so really take a hit, like Tesla. And the expense ratio, as compared to the other things we're going to see, is a little bit on the higher side, 0.76%. And then next, let's go look at VOO. You guys probably already know what this is. S&P 500 ETF, really small expense ratio at 0.03%, so hardly noticeable. And what I like about VOO, it's easy to trade. If you trade these other 2 that I previously mentioned in Fidelity, you have to wait till the end of the day in order for your trade to go through. But with something like VOO, I hit the buy button and I buy it. I hit the sell button, which I don't do, but if I were to hit the sell button, it would sell instantly. And this one just tracks the S&P 500 index, so there's really no management going on. And lastly, but not least, SCHD also has a really small expense ratio, 0.06%. Double that of VOO. It sounds weird to say that, but it's pretty small. And this one is known for giving out a dividend. We can see the trailing 12 months dividend yield is 3.61%. And like I mentioned before at the start of this video, these are 3 funds that I've been investing in for quite a while now, and I'm going to continue. These are where the majority of my money is. It's in one of these 4 particular funds, not in one individual stock. And it's definitely something that I didn't pay too close of attention to back in like 2020 when everything was crazy. And yeah, you can make money on anything, but now I'm more appreciative of the fact that I did have the majority of my money into these kind of funds. Now, that doesn't mean I don't have a couple speculative plays. If you've seen some of my previous videos, you know that I have too much money into SoFi, but that's why I make sure the majority of my money is in stuff like these. So thanks so much for watching. Feel free to go check out Jeremy's video. As he was the inspiration, I'm going to shout him out, even though I'm not his biggest fan. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care.